Despite the recent polling surge for Harris, Donald Trump is still the favorite. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video, and today we have to talk about the 2024 presidential election because Donald Trump is still the favorite to win. And I know, this sounds crazy to say because a bunch of Democrats and even Republicans, they're pushing the narrative that Donald Trump is not going to win, he has no pathway to the presidency, Kamala Harris will win by 20, all that crap. So it sounds crazy on paper to say that even with this quote-unquote surge Harris has, Trump is still the favorite. Well, guess what? We're going to look at the actual data and see where the race currently stands right now, and why I believe despite this surge for Harris, Trump is still the favorite. Now, does that mean it's a foregone conclusion Trump is going to win? No. It is possible for Harris to win, but at the end of the day, as of now, I think Trump is the clear favorite. As of August 2nd, 2024, things could change, I get that. But as of now, I have Trump as the favorite. And I want to start with the national polling because I don't get why people are panicking about this lead for Trump. Yes, it's a smaller lead than it was with Biden. With Biden, Trump was up by 3 points. With Harris, he's up by 1. Yes, that's a 2-point shift from Biden. That on paper, that's great news for Harris. The problem is, she's still losing. People are making it sound like Harris is up by 30 points. She is still down in the RCP average, and if it wasn't for that civics poll, Trump would be up by like 2 to 3 points right now. That civics poll is garbage. Get it out of here. But either way, Trump is up by 1 point. Even in that scenario, that's a 5 to 6 point shift from 2020. So are you going to tell me with a straight face a 5-point shift in just 4 years is somehow bad news for Trump? That might be the dumbest thing I've heard in a while. I mean, seriously, he lost the popular vote by 4.5. And you lost Wisconsin by 1, lost Michigan by 3, Pennsylvania by 1, Georgia by 0.25%, Arizona by 0.3%, Nevada by under 3. So you're going to tell me with a straight face, a 5-point shift in just 4 years is bad news for Trump? Bull crap. I call horseshit. That's not true. How can you say with a straight face a 5-point shift is bad for Trump because it's not a 10-point shift or whatever? Again, it's true to say Harris is doing better than Biden. But for starters, she's still losing. She is still down in the national polling by a point. And even then, the surge that Harris is showing, well, we did a whole video on this yesterday. It seems like all that happened was a bunch of Democrats that did not like Biden. They were sick of him. They said, screw it. We're done with Biden, but Harris is at least someone with a pulse. We can support that. We can't support Biden, but we can at least get behind Harris. You think I'm kidding? Right now, she's at 46.5% of the vote. Biden, in his final day in the average, was below 45%. Just look at the individual polls. There's like 5 or 6 polls where Biden is below 45% of the vote. Yeah, 6 polls actually, where he's below 45%. With Harris, right now it's only 3. That's it. So all that really happened, in my opinion, was Harris's floor went up. Like, okay, she may not lose a state like New Jersey. Congratulations. You're still losing. And let's just say, okay, Trump wins by 1. What would that look like on the electoral college map? Well, let's just say each state shifts 5 points Republican. Okay, Harris wins Minnesota, Virginia, Nebraska second by like a half point or whatever, New Hampshire, and Maine at large. Problem is, in this scenario, if you just shift every state by 5 points, it's not going to happen, but let's just say that happens. Trump wins easily. He wins with his 2016 map plus Nevada. So even if, Harris is doing slightly better, she's not losing by 3, she's losing by 1. That still means a Trump victory. I mean, I don't get why people are not talking about this. They're making it sound like Harris is up by 10 points or whatever. She is losing. But there's one more part about the national polling that a bunch of people are just not talking about. A potential polling miss. Remember, back in 2016 and 2020, the polling understated Trump in 2016 by a point, in 2020 by just under 3. So let's just say by 2 points. Average it out. It understated Trump by 2 points. If the same thing happens in 2024, which is possible, it could happen, that's a Trump +3 environment. There is no way in hell Harris can win in that scenario. And that's, in my opinion, the biggest problem. For her to have I would say, be the favorite to win, I really believe she has to be up in the polling by like 6 points. If she's up by only 1 in a best case scenario, even 2 to 3, in that scenario, Trump probably wins. He wins through the Electoral College. He wins Wisconsin. He wins Arizona, Georgia, probably wins Nevada or even Pennsylvania. That's the problem for Harris's campaign. She has to win it by 4 to 5 points. Therefore, if we say there's a 2-point polling miss, which it may not happen, but let's say it does, she needs to win the polling by 6 points. Just to barely win. And that's if everything goes right. Now do you see the problem? If you account for a polling miss in favor of Trump, which is probably going to happen, this Trump +1 average looks a lot more impressive. It really does, because that probably means Trump's above 50%. I mean, for crying out loud, back in 2016, the polls had Trump at 43.5%. He ended up with 46%. So they missed Trump's vote share by 2.5%. If the same thing happens, Trump's above 50. Same thing in 2020. They said he would get 44%. He ended up with 47%. That's a 3-point miss. So even in that scenario, it's like, okay, there's a polling miss, but maybe it's even. Trump is above 50. In that scenario, Trump is at 50.1. If he gets the majority of the vote, how the hell can Harris win? How? Mathematically speaking, for a Democrat in the year of 2024, they cannot lose, let alone the Republican get a majority. There are so many problems for Harris, but even, let's just say, fine, the national polling, it's off, whatever. What about the statewide polling? Well, let's go to Nevada. That Bloomberg poll is complete trash, but okay, let's just say fine. Harris is winning Nevada. All right, she's up in Nevada, the polling is garbage, but whatever. Arizona. Right now, it's Trump +4, so he holds on to Arizona. Let's look at the other polls. Let's look at Pennsylvania. Oh, Trump +2. He holds on to that. Michigan, which, by the way, has the Bloomberg poll, fine. Harris wins there. Problem is, even if Harris wins Michigan and Nevada, hell, you could throw in Wisconsin in that scenario. Harris is still the favorite. Or Trump is a winner, I should say. And even then, Trump is still up ahead slightly in Wisconsin. Even if you give Harris Georgia in that scenario, which is very unlikely, but let's say it happens somehow, Harris is still losing. So it's not just the national polling, it's the statewide polling. They have Trump winning slightly, but it's still a lead. The same polling that back in 2020 said Joe Biden will lose Wisconsin by 17 points. Remember that? Yeah, now they have Trump up by a point or so, just under a point. If there's any polling miss in favor of Trump, how can Harris win? How? Because she's already losing in the swing states like Wisconsin, in Pennsylvania, in Georgia. That's just a statewide polling. It's basic math. Trump has a much easier pathway to 270 than Harris. So that's even with a Harris surge, which, Like I said, she's still losing. A Harris surge of 2 points is not enough. She needs to be up by 5 to 6 if she wants to win. Trump is the clear favorite. Does that mean he's going to win by, a landslide margin? No. But statistically speaking, Trump's pathway to the presidency is very simple. All he has to do is just not lose any of these states. Hell, he can afford to lose even like Pennsylvania. If he holds on to Georgia, Arizona, Wisconsin, he's got it. It's a simple pathway. Harris has to run the table. She cannot afford to lose anything else. If she does, she's cooked. Again, I'm not saying it's a foregone conclusion that Trump's going to win 100% of the time. No, there's still a pathway for Harris to win. But if this is the Harris surge where she's still down by a point at the national level, and even the statewide polling, it's not the best for Harris. It's really not. Like Georgia, she's down by 2. In Arizona, down by 4. Michigan's the only state that right now she has a lead in. See the problem? Trump is the favorite. To say otherwise, I would say is just crazy. That doesn't mean he's going to win in a landslide. It just means that he has a much easier pathway to win, and right now the polling actually suggests Trump's leading. Even with the Harris surge, he's still up. That's not even accounting for a polling miss, which I think is going to happen again. I think we are going to see a polling miss in favor of Trump. It happened twice. Why the hell would it magically not happen a third time? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it actually benefits Democrats. I guess it's possible. But if he's already winning by a point everywhere, well, even if there's a polling miss of like 1%, that's still a Trump win. The math just doesn't add up for Harris right now. Even if she wins Pennsylvania, Michigan, she has to find a way to win Wisconsin, win Georgia, and still keep on to states like Nevada. She cannot afford to lose anything. Trump can. He can afford to lose even a state like Pennsylvania. I think he's the favorite there, but either way, the more you look at this, the more you realize, yeah, it's not crazy to say Trump is still the clear favorite. The race probably did get closer because Biden just fell off a cliff the past month, but that doesn't mean Harris is in such a good position. Trump, polling-wise, is still the favorite, even if he wins by only 1. Congratulations, he still wins by a lot in the key swing states. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.